Ratcliffe.
Thank you, Chairman. Gentlemen, I appreciate both of you being here today. I know it's been a long day for you. Mr. Morrison, I'm going to try and summarize some of what we've heard to shorten this. You were on the July 25th call. Colonel Vindman was on the July 25th call, correct?
Yes, Congressman.
And I will tell you that he testified earlier today that he heard what he thought was a demand on that call that was improper and felt that he had a duty to report that. I think we've established already that he did not discuss or report any of that to you, correct?
Yes, Congressman.
But you did have a discussion with Colonel Vindman about other concerns that he had with the call, and I believe you said the fidelity of the translation and the fact that you both shared a discussion about there not being a full-throated embrace of the Ukrainian reform agenda. Is that fair?
Yes, Congressman.
Okay. But with respect to his concern about something improper, specifically, at no point did he come to you and say, I heard something that I thought was improper and was a crime.
Sir, I have no recollection of him doing that.
No bribe, no extortion, no quid pro quo, all the things that Ms. Stefanik asked you.
No, sir.
All right. And as you were listening, did you hear President Trump make a demand of anything that would constitute a crime?
Sir, I've been trying to stay on the safe side of making legal conclusions, but no, sir, I did not hear him make any sort of demand.
All right. You have a law degree?
I do, sir.
So you're at least generally familiar with bribery and extortion, generally?
I'm not a lawyer for the United States, sir.
All right. But is it fair to say that as you were listening to the call, you weren't thinking, wow, the president is bribing the president of Ukraine? That never crossed your mind?
It did not, sir.
Or that he was extorting the president of the Ukraine?
It did not, sir.
Or doing anything improper?
Correct, sir.
All right. And have you heard or read in the media where President Zelensky agrees with you and said repeatedly and consistently that he didn't hear any demand, he didn't hear any conditions, he didn't feel any pressure, he didn't experience anything improper or corrupt on the call?
Sir, I attended the bilat in New York at the UN General Assembly, and he made clear at the time in front of the press that he felt no pressure.
So did anyone on the National Security Council after this call express to you that some crime, bribery, extortion, quid pro quo, anything had occurred?
No, sir.
I want to ask you, Mr. Morrison, about the whistleblower complaint. I don't want to ask you to speculate as to the identity, but I want to ask you about the accusations that started this as to their veracity. First of all, the whistleblower, who apparently was not on the call, advised the ICIG that he or she was concerned that the president's conduct constituted under Title 50 U.S.C. Section 3033, quote, a serious problem, abuse, or violation of law or executive order, end quote. Again, to be clear, you didn't hear a violation of law or executive order as you listened to the call.
Sir, I made no judgment about any illegal conduct occurring.
The whistleblower also reported, in starting this inquiry, asserted that that President Trump, quote, sought to pressure the Ukrainian leadership to take actions to help the president's 2020 re-election bid. President Trump does not mention 2020 during the call, does he?
No, sir, I don't believe he did.
President Trump doesn't mention his re-election bid during the call, does he?
Sir, I don't believe he did.
And you did not hear President Trump pressure or have a demand of any kind, as we've already established, correct?
Correct, sir.
The whistleblower, like Colonel Vindman, also uses the word demand.
Did you just say whistleblower like Colonel Vindman? I don't think that's a fact that's in evidence.
Counsel, you should use the microphone.
Thank you. I'm sorry. In all due respect, Congressman, I believe you just said a whistleblower like Colonel Vindman.
No, I said, I'm sorry.
That's not an evidence.
Yeah, the whistleblower, like Colonel Vindman, also uses the word demand. On page 4, the whistleblower asserted, quote, Ambassador Volker and Sondland purportedly provided advice to Ukrainian leadership about how to navigate the demands the president had made of Mr. Zelensky, end quote. Again, there were no demands from your perspective, Mr. Morrison.
That is correct, sir.
All right. So speculations about the whistleblower aside with regard to motivations, the fact is that the whistleblower was wrong about many of the facts as well. Correct?
Sir, I'm not intimately familiar with the whistleblower complaint, but I did not hear a demand in that call.
I yield back.
The gentleman